What's up YouTube? We are back with another awesome moto vlog. Today is a special vlog in a couple of different ways. Number one, it's vlog 50 and I can't believe I've already made 50 of these videos. The second thing is I want to say thank you to all of the 2,000 plus subscribers. Just a few weeks ago we hit 2K subscribers and I honestly did not think I'd ever hit 2,000 subscribers. So thank you, I appreciate all of your support, I appreciate everybody commenting, liking the videos, and subscribing. It really helps me out and it makes all of this worth my effort. So I'd like to thank all of you subscribers who have helped me get this far and have followed me along this journey on building the GX, the M4, and the FZ07. And as a token of my appreciation, if you haven't already noticed, I have awesome moto shirts. And my intention is to give away shirts to subscribers every month starting in May. These shirts are pretty cool. They are screen printed with the Asamoto logo and they come in a bunch of different sizes. So whoever the winner is, I will coordinate with you for shipping and also for sizes. I'm so excited to give away these shirts and start to give back to everybody who's helped support me. I really appreciate your support. Thank you again for helping me hit 2,000 subscribers. So for vlog 50, I decided I wanted to do something pretty awesome, and this is something I've been wanting to do for a while, and that is putting a spoiler on the GX. So as you can tell, my GX did not come with a spoiler, and that was one of the things when I went and bought this vehicle. I really wished it had the spoiler because for some reason I just really like the way it makes the back end of the GX look. It gives it kind of a little bit more of a squared off aggressive look, and instead of having that round slope, it kind of comes out more to a straight and then down. So I really like the way that looks and I've been wanting to do this for a while. So as you can see, this is painted a primer gray. I got this off of eBay. And the reason I got it in primer gray is because many of you already know, but the Blizzard Pearl for the GX470 had paint defects and it peeled and chipped. And my vehicle is no longer the Blizzard Pearl because it had that issue as well, and so it was repainted by the previous owner, and I do not know actually what color they used. Since I didn't know what color they used, I decided the best thing I can do is go research OEM paint from Toyota in 2005. I was able to find this Toyota paint from Touch Up Paint Direct, and this is Toyota paint code 040 and it is called Super White 2. I'm really hoping that this is going to be a very similar white to what's already on there, and I'm hoping that whoever painted this decided to go with an OEM Toyota color to begin with. So I'm going to paint it with this OEM Toyota paint and see how it comes out. I'm pretty confident that's going to look good and that you're not going to be able to notice if there is any difference between the two colors. And the nice thing is when you order these Touch Up Direct paint kits, is they come with the OEM paint and aerosol can, and they also send you a clear coat. I'll put the links for the paint down below in the description and also the links for the spoiler. Alright, so this spoiler is pretty straightforward as far as installation goes. There's a couple of different things that they include in the packaging. So what comes in this kit with the spoiler is you get some mounting screws, you get some foam pieces. This particularly goes up under and enables it to rest on your OEM taillight. Another thing that they have is these foam pads, and these also dampen the sound. So if you can see, these just kind of go on there like that. They provide a little bit of weatherproofing, but mostly good for sound dampening. I have a solution for weatherproofing this a little bit better. Another thing that this comes with is they come with these cool little templates. These templates are nice because there's a little sticker on here. You peel it off and you line it up to the hole. And then once the spoiler is on where you want it to, you tape these down and you've got a nice spot to drill a hole into the vehicle. And lastly, this kit comes with a new brake light which will mount into the spoiler. So one of the things that's interesting about this kit is it comes with 4 screws for mounting this. So there's a screw hole here, and there's also a secondary one over here. Now I'll put the images I found of an OEM spoiler on the screen now so that you can see it. The OEM spoiler has a screw hole right here, but it does not have the secondary screw. The one thing I don't like about this is the fact that you now have to make a screw in a different location. And I'll show you in a little bit, but there's a grommet on the door and it enables you to access mounting for this screw location, but there is no easy access point for this second screw. So for me, I'm not a fan of that. I really like that there's an OEM screw hole here on both sides. I'm going to stick to 1 screw for mounting. My solution for keeping this wing held down and bonded really tight and also waterproof is I've picked up some of this flex glue. I've never used flex glue before, but I'm excited to test this out. That flex glue will not only make a watertight seal so that I don't have any water getting into that screw hole into the back of the door, but it'll also provide as a secondary means of holding the spoiler onto the vehicle. I'm going to use the unpainted spoiler to mock up and drill the holes. Once I get everything fitting properly, we're going to take off the spoiler and we'll use the white paint. We'll first do a couple of coats of the white paint, and then we'll go through and we'll do a clear coat at the end so we can get everything looking glossy. So if you had a factory spoiler on your GX470, what would originally be behind these grommets is a screw would be up in here. Actually, it was a 10mm bolt. So there would normally be a hole up through the other side of the door, and you could access the bolt here, and that would be how you would remove your spoiler. So I'm going to mock up the spoiler with the template for that one screw hole on each side, and then once we get everything marked and drilled, we'll just go ahead and we'll start painting. Alright, so these are the mounting templates, and they have a little adhesive peel tab here, so you peel off like that, and then what you do is you just line this up with your screw hole and it'll stick on, and then we'll do the same thing on the other side. So what I recommend is pre-ripping some painter's tape and sticking that on the door so that you don't have to juggle a reel of tape and also deal with juggling and holding a spoiler. This will enable you to tape things down once you get things lined up. So I'm going to use the third brake light to actually line things up and double check my edges to make sure things are in line. Alright, so I came over to this side. It's a lot easier to line things up. And so I'm just going to use actually duct tape because the painter's tape is not as adhesive as I wanted it to be. I want to make sure that these templates hold down well once I get them in place. Alright, now that your whole template is marked, you want to go through with a 1/4 inch drill bit and drill out these holes. One of the things I forgot to mention was drilling out the hole here for the wire for the brake light to go through. On this spoiler, I see it's interesting, and I'm not quite sure if it's always supposed to be on the driver's side, but on my spoiler there's a larger cutout on the spoiler on the passenger side. Either way, it's equal distance to get to the brake light, so instead of drilling into the spoiler and having to drill into the car, I'm just going to pick to drill into the car and keep it on the same side that it came with, which is on the passenger side. So from this screw hole, I come over 1.25 inches and then down by 1/2 inch, and that is the hole where I put you centered in on the hole that's on the spoiler. Alright, so you want to take your mounting bolt, make sure you put the washer on it, and get a screwdriver handy. And what I plan on doing is going straight up through this hole where the grommet was and putting this screw in here like so, and then I'm gonna just flip. I'm just gonna flip the spoiler up and line things up here. Try to get that thread started and just screw it in. Alright, so once you have this mounted on, let's just close the door here and make sure everything fits properly and doesn't hit. Alrighty, there we have it. That looks pretty good. Alright, so there we go. Spoiler mounted up. This thing is held on here really good, and I don't even have it tightened down all the way, but just with one screw, that's holding up really good. But this looks so much better to me. I'm glad to finally have a spoiler mounted up here. Alright, now that things are mocked up good, I'm going to take this back off, hit it with that Toyota Super White 2, and then we'll go ahead and hit it with clear coat. So as I've been waiting on some of the coats of paint to dry, I've been staring at this taillight lens, and I'm not a really big fan of the clear lens. I'd prefer this to be red so it matches the rest of the taillights on the vehicle. So I went ahead and I ordered this product from VHT. It's a product called Nite-Shades, and what this is a taillight tint. So it looks pretty straightforward to install, only 2 to 3 light coats, and it should give this a nice red tint. So I'm going to give this product a try. Hopefully it looks okay. If it's not okay, I'll let you know. Alright, so we're finally done doing all the painting. I must say that this took a lot longer than expected. One of the things that really bit me on this one is I tried out this Duplicolor 1K clear coat, because the clear coat that came in the kit that I ordered with the 1 can of clear and the 1 can of the Super White 2 was not enough, so I decided, let me try this 1K clear. Unfortunately, this clear coat, and I read a bunch of reviews online, this clear coat yellows really bad. So as you can imagine, with a white paint, the yellowing of this clear coat sticks out very bad. So over the last week I've had to sand this thing back down and redo all of my work just because I bought this clear coat. So I highly recommend staying away from this 1K clear from Duplicolor. It yellows and it will ruin anything you're working on. So instead I went with this Rust-Oleum high gloss clear coat. So the can says it's fast drying and non-yellowing, and it's also UV resistant, so it seemed like it fit the bill for everything I was looking for. So to summarize what I did with painting, I did about 2 to 3 coats of the Super White 2, and then I did about 2 to 3 coats of this clear coat, and then what I did is I went back through, I did a wet sand of 1000 grit for the base coat before I started applying the clear coat. After doing the 2 to 3 coats of the clear coat, I went through with 1200 grit sandpaper and smoothed everything out. Then after sanding with 1200 grit, I hit it with 2 more coats of the clear, and it laid much nicer and has a nice glossy finish, so that ended up working out really well. If any of you are painting your spoiler like me, hopefully this helps you out, some of these tips that helped me along the way. And then the last thing I did is I hit this brake light with that VHT Nite-Shades red, and I hit it with clear coat after I was done, and it gave it a really nice finish. I did about 3 coats of the VHT Nite-Shades to get a good color match to the red that was on the taillights on the GX. So really the last thing we need to do is we need to apply these foam strips to the spoiler. We need to mount the LED brake light, and I'm also going to use this flex glue. Alright, so for the centerpiece, we're just going to remove the backing to expose the adhesive portion of it, and then we're just going to line this up, stick it on this area which covers the brake light. Alright, and then for the foam pieces on both ends, you pull the adhesive backing on, but I'm going to first apply a thin little layer of the flex glue just to add some extra bonding. Once you have a thin layer of the flex glue down, just line up your holes. There you go. And then we'll do the same on the other side here. And we'll do the last thing, which is putting the brake light in. So just going to undo this wire, and we're going to feed this through, and I'm just going to fish it out over here at the other end. I'm going to give it a little bit of a shake to get the wire to fall down. So you can get your finger in there and pull that wire through. There we go. Alright, so one thing I should mention is that I went through with clear coat when I was doing the spoiler and a paintbrush, and I sprayed some of the clear coat into the cap, and I painted the inside of all these holes with clear coat so that it'll seal it from rusting. Next, what I did is I put some duct tape on the inside of these holes, and I stabbed these bolts through the duct tape, and the duct tape is holding the bolts in place, so it'll make putting the spoiler down easier. Alright, so the next thing I did is I applied some flex glue to each of these sides, so that'll hold into place. So before I mount this up, I'm going to feed the wires through for the brake light into the back here, so that's in place. Alright, once you have that brake wire fed through, you just want to go ahead and line up all your screw holes. Once you get these screw holes lined up, I'm going through and I'm just tightening things down by hand. And now that I got things tightened down by hand, I'm going to torque them down a little bit with this drill. Just don't go too overkill on it. Alright, so the last thing we need to do is hook up the brake light. And what I did is I removed all of this plastic trim from around the door here just so I could get easy access to things. I went and I cut the wire that went to the original brake light, and I'm going to splice that in to our new one. And so there is a white with blue stripe, that is going to be your ground, and then the other one is just an all white wire, that'll be your positive. So on the GX there's a green wire, and then there is a white wire with a black stripe. I went ahead and used a DMM and connected to the white wire, and then I found a ground spot where I found some bare metal exposed, and I was able to find that the white with black is the ground and the green is the positive. We'll splice in our wire that is white with a blue stripe to the black, and then our all white wire will go to the green. Alright, so once you have this wired up, just go through and pop all of these trim pieces back into place. So once you got this trim piece clicked back into place, we can close the door, take a look at it. Wow, that looks awesome. Alright, so this looks pretty awesome. I'm excited about this new spoiler. I think the best thing we can do from here is to take this out and get some glamour shots and see what it looks like on the vehicle. Wow, I am really excited about the way that looks. All the hard work of having to redo painting the spoiler was well paid off, because now that it's on the vehicle, I think it was well worth it. It looks great. I'm also a huge fan of the way the VHT Nite-Shades looked with tinting the taillight red. If you liked today's video, hit that thumbs up button so I know you like today's content. If you have any specific questions about the install, feel free to reach out in the comment section down below, or you can reach me on Instagram at Awesomoto. So as a closing reminder, I'm excited to give away one of these Awesomoto t-shirts to one of you subscribers this month. If you're not already a subscriber, hit that subscribe button down below. It gets you notified anytime I upload new videos, and it also gets you entered into the monthly drawings to win t-shirts. And in the future, I'll be doing a giveaway with some other products as well. So if you're interested in that, make sure you hit that subscribe button to get you entered into all of those extras. So as a teaser to the next vlog, I just received my Prinzu roof rack in the mail the other day, so that'll be going on the GX next. Alright, so until next time, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.